Today, Saturday, the 5th of April 2025, we have some hand-picked match prediction to share with you, which of course will be backed up by some stats and analytics to help you make your picks in this list to boost your winning by a greater percent. And to those of you who want to have access to our hand-picked events, which we have shared to members only, then of course you want to make sure to subscribe to the Level 2 Pro membership package plan to have access to our top-notch hand-picked events with huge odds to take your winning to the next level. To those of you who want to join, the link is below this video description. Also, if you want to have access to our top-notch class tutorials, which we share to members only, then you also want to make sure to join the membership package plan. All the link will be found below this video. So before we proceed to the games of today, we want to say congratulations based on yesterday's event for we registered wins with high win rate. And of course, today is Saturday, which of course we have a very long list to share with you. So I will not want to go behind to start to reveal all the games we had yesterday and the win rate we had. So I will just proceed with the games that we have for today, for we have a very long list. I don't want this video to be very long. But before we proceed, of course, I have a quick announcement to make. If you come here to the front page of our channel here, you're going to see that we provide match prediction to members only. These are members only video. And of course, if you are already a member, you want to make sure to access only the member section area by coming to the home tab and have access to your own hand-picked event. For these are the best and refined games we have picked for members only. For you to have access to members only video, then you want to make sure to subscribe to either the Level 2 Pro membership package plan or the Level 3 master plan to have access to this hand-picked event to take your winning to the next high. The link is below this video. Also, if you become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan, you're also going to have access to Level 2 Pro classes that will give you access to Level 2 Pro top-notch classes like the live match corner kick, match prediction strategy for corner kicks. You can see a simple trick to make consistent win, which we have revealed to members only. You're going to see a never seen soccer match prediction strategy step by step, a comeback soccer bet strategy that will amaze you, a never seen tactical straight win and 2.5 goal strategy that you want to implement, and also a 99% win rate strategy for members only. Once you become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan, you also have access to Level 2 Pro classes that will give you access to all of these top-notch tutorial classes in one place, and you start to take your winning to the next level. But if you become a member of the Level 3 Master, you have access to even more video tutorial, which are for masters only. At this level, you have access to the excellent corner kick strategy being revealed step by step, the top AI tool we use to find games in terms of goal probability and straight wins, game changer corner kick strategy, which will reveal the top secret site we use to find corner kick events, 6 amazing AI tool which we use, home and away win match prediction strategy step by step, and 2.5 goal strategy to beat the bookies and win even more. So once you become a member of the Level 3 Master, you have access to masterclass tutorial to take your winning to the next height. The link also is below this video. Once you subscribe as a Level 3 Master, go below this video and click the link and watch all of this tutorial in one place and start to apply the strategy to be a master of yourself. So that being said, let's proceed directly to the first game we have to share with you. Looking at the first event, here, we are looking at the first pick. We look at Spain in the La Liga. We are looking at Real Madrid against Valencia in this event. Real Madrid performance in the recent gameplay they have had at home have proved to be very offensive, scoring 4 goals, 3 goals, 2 goals, and 2 goals in recent event they have recently had. They are very offensive comparing to that of Valencia. On the other hand, they also do concede very much and they try to score at least between 1 to 3 goals in each event. Looking at the stand performance in terms of the recent event they have had, the performance of the home in terms of Real Madrid performance have proved that they have a very good offense. They sit on the second place. They have had 5 games played at home recently, 4 wins, scoring 12 goals and conceding 5. That's a good offense. And the defense also. If you look at that of Valencia, on the other hand, they sit here right at the 13th position. The defensive line is not very tight and the offense is just average, which we also want to impress. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular gameplay, the home team have tried to score at least between 2 and 3 to 4 goals in each event. Valencia also, on the other hand, we also want to impress, and as a result, we look at least the probability of 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time as one of the major picks, or the possibility of the home team to take the lead or 1.5 goal. So these are our 2 major picks for this particular event. The home to lead and 2 at least 1.5 goals in full time. Looking at the next, we looked here in the Bolivia, in the professional league, a match between Always Ready against Blooming. The performance of Always Ready in the recent event they have had have proved to be very offensive, scoring 2 goals, 5 goals in recent event they have had, And of course, looking at that of Blooming, on the other hand, they concede very much. Blooming have had event with Bolivar and also with, as you can see, Always Ready, where Always Ready just recently had the lead 2-0. The head-to-head, as you can see, most recently, Always Ready play at home, it lead 2-0, just as we have shared. The performance of the stands in terms of the recent gameplay they have had by the offensive power and the defense of both home and away, the home Always Ready have proved that they are good. This tournament is just starting, as you can see. Always Ready, as you can see, have not yet had any event at home recently in this recent tournament. Of course, that of its opponent, on the other hand, have proved that, you can see, based on the away gameplay as well, Blooming have not had any event. But looking at the stand performance in the recent gameplay they have just had this same year, not far ago, Always Ready lead by 2-0. And looking at the form performance of Always Ready in the recent event they have had, where they score high amount of goals recently, we are looking at two major picks here in full time. For this particular gameplay, the home still have a very good form, and we look at it to be the upper hand to lead in full time as one of the major picks in this event in full time, or to give it a double chance. That's our major pick for this particular event in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at Norway in the early siren, a match between Bodo Glimt against HamKam. For this event, Bodo Glimt have proved to be very offensive in the recent event they have had in the year, that is in the Europa League, where their performance has been very great, scoring 3 against Olympiacos. They score 5 against 20. Agbak 3 against 5, where they try to score 5 goals. And also with Maccabi Tel Aviv, they score 3. Very offensive in the Europa League. And that of HamKam, on the other hand, have also mostly had event in the club friendly, where their performance have been very poor. Looking at this particular event, of course, we are looking at the probability of the home to have the upper hand to lead in full time as one of the major picks, as well as the possibility of at least 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time. For the offensive strength of the home is very great. So the home is our major pick to lead or to give it a double chance, or just the possibility of 1.5 goal in full time. This is our major pick for this particular event. Looking at the next, we are looking at quarter in the Star League, a match between Al-Duhail against Al-Shamal. For this event, the performance of Al-Duhail recently have proved to be very offensive in the games they have had in the quarter Star League itself, scoring 4, 2, 2, and 4. In the recent event, the offensive strength is very good. If we look at that of Shamal, on the other hand, the proof that the defensive line is not good, conceding too much number of goals. Looking at the recent head-to-head they just had not far ago, Al-Duhail played at home, it lead by 3 against 1. This time it is still having a good form. And looking at the stand performance in terms of the recent event they have had by the form strength of home and away, the home team, Al-Duhail, have proved to be very offensive. They have had 5 games at home recently with 4 wins, scoring 13 goals and conceding 6. That's a good offense. But if you look at that of its opponent, on the other hand, based on the recent event you have had, you're going to see that they are not very offensive. And the strength power by defense is not very tight. As a result, we look at two major picks here in full time. For this particular event, of course, the home still proved to have a very high offensive strength, and we look at it to lead in full time as one of the major picks, as well as the possibility of at least 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time. Looking at the next pick, we are looking at Scotland in the Championship, a match between Falkirk with Morton. In this event, we are looking at Falkirk to be very offensive in the recent event they have had, scoring 2, 1, 2, and 5 in the recent game played. That of Morton, on the other hand, also score at least 2, 1, and 2 goals in each event. Both of the two sides proved to have a high scoring capacity based on the recent event they have had. If we look at the stand performance by the recent game they have had by their form comparison, the home team, Falkirk, have proved that they sit here on the 3rd place. They've had 5 games at home, 3 wins, scoring 11 and conceding 6. That's a good offense, and the defense is not very tight. If we look at that of the way in terms of the recent event they've had, Morton, you're going to see that they also have good offense, and defense is also not very tight. So both of the two sides want to impress, causing high shots on and off target, and as a result, we want to look at two major picks here in full time. For this particular event, both of the two sides will want to impress. And looking at every explanation, we're looking at least 1.5 goal here in full time, or 2 goals over. Looking at the next, we looked at Portugal in the Championship National U21, that is U19, that is Portugal under 19 Championship. We are looking at Porto against Tondela. The recent performance of Porto have proved to be very offensive, scoring 2 goals against Benfica, 2 goals against Academico, 2 goals. So their offensive trend have proved to be very good by home. That of Tondela, on the other hand, concede just too much number of goals. Against Benfica, they were able to concede 6. But this Benfica had a game against Porto. Porto have almost equal strength with Benfica. Still to tell us that there is still the possibility of Porto to beat Tondela in full time. If you look at the stand performance in terms of the recent event they've had, we are going to see that by the form, Porto have proved here to be offensive. They've had 3 games at home, 6 goals scored. That's a good offense. Defense is 5. But of course, that of Tondela, in terms of the recent event they have had at home, you're going to see that Tondela sit right here with a defensive line that is very open. They are not good at defense. They have conceded 11 goals in just 3 game play, given advantage for Porto to beat it and also to have goals probability. As a result, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, we'll look at the home team to lead as one of the major picks, as well as at least 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time is our major pick. Looking at the next, we looked at Czech Republic in the Fortuna Liga. We are looking at Slavia Prague against Hradec Kralov. In this event, Sparta Prague has proved to be very offensive, scoring 3 goals, 2 goals, 1 goal in the recent event they have had in the first Liga itself. But if we look at that of Hradec, on the other hand, they also scored, but they do concede very much. They had a game against Sparta Prague, as you can see, and of course, they had a lose 3-0. This time, it is Slavia Prague that is coming to play against it. But if we look at the stand performance in terms of the recent event they have had, we are going to see that the performance of Slavia Prague, which is the form at home, have proved that Slavia sits right here at the second place. Slavia Prague have played 5 games recently, 8 goals scored and 3 goal conceded. But if you look at Sparta Prague here, they are in the 6th position. They also have 8 goals scored and 7 conceded. To tell us that the performance of Slavia Prague at home is more as compared to Sparta Prague, because Sparta Prague is 8, conceding 7. Slavia Prague is 8, conceding 3. If Sparta Prague was able to beat Hradec, as you can see in the games they have just recently had here, this is it here. If Sparta Prague, as you can see, was able to beat Hradec 3-0, for which the form of the home team, Slavia Prague, is better as compared to Sparta Prague, then there is still a possible chance of Slavia Prague to beat Hradec and also the possibility of at least 1.5 goals. If we look at everything in place, therefore want to look at least 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, everything been explained, we are looking at least the possibility of 1.5 goal in full time or Sparta Prague to take the lead with a double chance. This is our major pick here. 1, at least 1.5 goal in full time. 2, Sparta Prague to lead. 3, other to look at it for a double chance. This is our major pick for this event. Looking at the next, we'll look here in the Germany Oberliga Bayern North. We are looking at Wurzburger against Eichstatt. Here we are looking at the form that the home have offense, scoring 2, 1, 1. That is 2, conceding 1, conceding 1. If we look at that of Eichstatt, they prove to have a better offense, scoring 3, having draw against Eldorf and beating Ameta 3-0. Having 4 goals with Anbach to prove that they are very good in the recent gameplay they have had. We are going to see this in terms of the form by the away performance of the away team, which have a better offense. You are going to see that they sit on the 3rd place. They have 5 game played, scoring 11, conceding 4. That's better as compared to that of the home, which if you look at that, the performance of the home, you're going to see that they sit right here at the last, having 5 game played, no wins, 4 goals scored and 7 conceded. As a result, we still look at the away team to have an upper hand and comparing to that of the home. So want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, we are looking at a way to beat our favorite to give it a straight win or a double chance in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at England in the League One. We are looking at Birmingham against Barnsley. In this event, Birmingham have proved to be very offensive in the England League One, scoring 4, 2, 1, as you can see. But that of Barnsley, on the other hand, have just proved that the offensive strength is not very tight, but they do concede as much. And of course, looking at the stand performance by rating of the form, the home Birmingham by the home team have proved here that, of course, they are better as compared to that of the away. They sit here based on the position, the 2nd place after Charlton, where they scored 10 goals in 5 games played, conceding 2, good offense and good defense. But that of the away, in terms of the recent event they have had, have proved that they sit right here in the 10th position with an offense that is not very good and defense that is also manageable. Of course, looking here at everything in place, we're looking at the home to have the upper hand or to have a double chance in full time. So we want to look at 2 major picks here. For this particular event, at least the home to lead or to give it a double chance is our major pick for this particular event in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at Australia in the Victoria Premier League. We are looking at Western United U21 against Eastern Lion. The performance of the home have proved to concede and do score as well very much, scoring 3, 5, and 4. The offensive trend recently they have had with some opponents have proved to be very powerful. If we look at Eastern Lion, they do concede as well very much. As you can see here, conceding 5, conceding 2, conceding 3, conceding 2, to show that the defensive line is not very tight, but they do score as well. So both of the 2 teams want to impress by causing more shots on and off target. As a result, looking at the form of the home, you are going to see that its performance, Western is good at offense. They have had 12 goals scored in just 4 games played to prove that the offense is good and defense is not that very tight. But if you look at that also of the opponent, you're going to see that the opponent team also sit here in the 10th place with a defensive line that is very open, giving advantage for the home to score very much. And since the home recently have just proved that they also are good at scoring, then both of the two sides want to impress. As a result, we want to look at two major picks here in full time. For this particular event, we are looking at least the probability of 1.5 goal to occur here in full time or 2 goals over is our major pick for this particular event. Looking at the next, we looked at Australia in the NPL Victoria. We are looking at Dandong Thunder playing against Port Melbourne Shark. In this event, the home team have proved to score 2 goals, 1 goal, 3 goals, 2 goals. In the recent event they have had this same year. At least they try to score between 1 to 2 goals. Port Melbourne, on the other hand, just proved that the defensive line is very weak with a very high rating of conceding goals. Conceding 3, 3, 4, and 5. The defense is not very good. If we look at the stand performance in terms of the recent event they have had, you're going to notice that the performance of the home, by the home game played, have proved that they are good. Sitting here, the second place, they've had 5 game play with 10 goals scored, conceding 6. If we look at that of its opponent in terms of the recent game they have had, you're going to see that the opponent proved to be very poor here. They have conceded 10 goals in just 3 game play. The defensive line is very open. And as a result, goal probability will occur here. Since the home offense is good, they want to take advantage of that weak defense. And also, we are looking at least 2 major pick here in full time. For this particular event, we are looking at the home to either lead in full time or looking at least the possibility of 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at England in the U21. We are looking at, that is Netherlands. We are looking at Netherlands U21. We are looking at Cambuur U21 against Den Haag U21. Cambuur have proved to be very offensive, scoring 1, 3, 3, 5, very good strength at home. If we look at that of Den Haag, in terms of the way the defensive line is very weak, conceding huge number of goals, 2, 2, 3, and 8. And looking at the stand performance, in terms of the recent event they have had by their form performance, by the home and away, you're going to see that Cambuur here sit on the first place, 5 game play, 4 lead, 9 goals scored, 6 conceded. Good offense, and defense is not very tight. If we look at that of the away in terms of the recent event they have had, you're going to see that the away also have proved that the defensive line is not very good. And as a result, both of the two sides want to impress, more shoot on and off target. Therefore, want to look at least 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, we'll look at least the probability of 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time. Looking at the next pick, we'll look at Germany in the Regional Liga Southwest. We are looking at Freiberg against Mainz. In this event, the home team Freiberg have proved to score at least 1, 1, 2 in recent event they have had. Its opponent Mainz, on the other hand, just concede very much, giving a high opening for goals probability, conceding 3, conceding 3, conceding 3. Looking at the stand performance by comparing the strength of these two, we are going to see that the form of the home by the home game played have proved that they sit here in the second place, having 5 game played, 4 leads, scoring 9, conceding 1. Good offense and good defense. If we look at that of the away by the recent game play they've had at the away, you are going to notice that they sit right here in the 14th position with a very weak defensive line, very open due to the fact that they concede too much number of goals. And as a result, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, we are looking at the home to be the upper hand to lead in full time as one of the major pick, as well as the possibility of at least 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time is our major pick. Looking at the next, we'll look at Germany in the Regional Liga Southwest, a match between Gopinga against Villingen. In this event, the performance of the home is very offensive, scoring at least 2 goals, 3 goals, 3 goals, very good in the recent gameplay they have had. Villingen also, on the other hand, have proved to do concede and score at least between 1 goal in each event, conceding 2, 1, and 6, and as well as 3. The defensive trend also proved that they are not very tight. We can confirm this by looking at the form, looking at the performance of the home. By the form they have had at home, you're going to see that the home team proved here that they sit here on the 14th place, having 5 game played, 9 goals scored, and 7 conceded. Offense is good, defense is not very tight. That of its opponent as well, on the other hand, as you can see in terms of the away performance, have proved here that they sit right here, almost in the last place. That is in the last place even. They've had 5 game played, no lead, conceding 15. That's a very weak defensive line. As a result, goal probability is our major outcome. Therefore, want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, we are expecting at least 1.5 goal in this event in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at Germany in the Regional Liga Southwest, a match between Offenbach against Eintracht Frankfurt. In this event, we are looking at the fact that Offenbach have proved to be very offensive, scoring 3, 2, 3 in recent event they have had. The performance of Eintracht Frankfurt, on the other hand, also good at scoring 3, 2, and 2. And of course, the stand performance of both sides have proved that Offenbach, in terms of the form, have proved that they are very good by form at home. Of course, the performance of the home team have proved that they are good. 11 goals scored in 5 game played, conceding 7. Good offense and defense is not very tight. That of its opponent as well, Eintracht Frankfurt, on the other hand, have proved also that they are very poor in defense and at least they do score at least good amount of goal. Looking here at everything in place, both of the two sides want to impress, causing shoot and enough target to be more. So we are looking at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, at least 1.5 goal is our major pick for this particular event in full time. And therefore, if you want to have access to our hand-pick events, which we have just shared to members only, with a high probability win rate of match prediction we have selected as our hand-pick for members only, with huge odds to take their winning to the next height. In other words, we have more event games, which our best and filtered games we have selected as hand-picked, which will be shared to members only. And for you to have access to these, you want to make sure that you subscribe to become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan as a membership package plan, or member of the Level 3 Master to have access to our refined match prediction events for this weekend, Saturday, and even tomorrow, Sunday. You want to make sure to go ahead to subscribe either to the Level 2 Pro membership package plan or the Level 3 Master plan to have access to our refined hand-picked match predictions, which our best we have just shared to members only. And we keep sharing this over and over to those of you who are members. So you want to take advantage of these to see how you can also become a member to start having access to our hand-picked events where we provide the best game picks with the highest win rate, which you can take advantage of it. To those of you who are interested and wanting to join, I will put the link below this video so that you can go directly to that link, click on it, navigate and join to become a member of either the Level 2 Pro membership package plan or Level 3 Master and start having access to all of these to take your winning to the next height. So good luck and see you again in the next upload, and bye-bye for now.